Hey guys, zpolt here and I'm back for another accessory guide, and I think this is something that you really like. I see a lot of questions in my comments on these and I want to answer all of them in one video. So we have all the top 5 here in this channel and also top 1 in the $20 range. We have the TFZ T2, CCA C12, BLON 03, Tint T3, TRN BA5, and NiceHCK DB3. I'm gonna share with you guys my full setups in each of these and why I chose a certain tip or a certain cable as well. So maybe from my setups you guys can get some tips in how you can set up your IEM. So the NiceHCK DB3 is our top one under $20 and it has kind of a fairly neutral kind of sound but has some warmth at the bottom. It's also pretty relaxed overall. So what I did put here is the Yin U8 core again. You're gonna hear a lot of those here in this video because I do like the Yin U8 core. It's very soft again, and it has that kind of premium feeling with me. So yes, preform here also with the Yin U8 core, which is something I like. So yes, and also for the tips. So for the NiceHCK DB3, I want to make it a little bit more aggressive sounding, more kind of musical sounding because it's in the kind of relaxed side of things. It also has some warmth with the NiceHCK DB3, so I want to make it a bit more exciting. And the tip for that is the spin fits. So yeah, usually the spin fits, it fits in your ear better, isolates better, and just makes the sound more aggressive, more musical, more punchy also. So yes, this makes it a little bit more lively IEM with the NiceHCK DB3. Next is the TFZ T2. So the TFZ T2 is, again, I do like already the cable with the TFZ T2, so I didn't replace it. But I did replace the tips with the TFZ T2 with final ease. So in the TFZ T2, I do find it fatiguing to listen to after a long listening session, so I need to adjust it from time to time. That's just my ears. It may differ from yours, but for me, it kind of has some fatigue after some time. That's the issue with the detailed IEMs, much like my DT1990. So what I do want to do with that kind of IEMs is tone down the aggressiveness a bit, tone down the detail a bit, tone down the air a bit in the IEM. So I did put the final ease on that. So it made the T2 a little bit more relaxed, not super duper far from the previous signature, but just make it more relaxed with the final ease. And I also do like the texture in the final ease in general. It's very soft with the final ease. So yeah, that's what I did with the T2. Actually, not so much with the T2, I do already like it. Next is the CCA C12. So as I mentioned, the CCA C12 is using my black 8 core cable from Yin. Again, a Yin cable. And now it's all black, and I do like that kind of texture with the all black Yin. It's kind of like black mamba kind of design. It's glossy, which is something I like. With the CCA C10, it's kind of like a U-shaped sound. Also in the relaxed side of things, but still detailed. So being relaxed, I want to liven up the IEM a bit. So I did put again some spin fits on this. It made the sound more punchy, more lively, more musical. And yeah, now it livened up the relaxed nature of the CCA C12 a bit now, which is something I like. So it's more musical now with this kind of setup with the CCA C12. So I do prefer the spin fits more in the C12. Next is the BLON 03. So the BLON 03 is one of the most asked earphones. Well, it's the most popular here in the channel, I would argue. It's the only one that fit in the $30 and also $50 range. Best value here in the channel. So in terms of tips, I actually do use 2 types of tips. One is the double flange tips, and also recently I shifted to spin fits. So I do like them both. They both have a different fit on the ear. But sometimes I do find that the double flange doesn't fit in my ear that much. I kind of need to adjust it to find the perfect fit. It's nice, but yeah, I do want to have a perfect fit all the time. And when I use the spin fits, it's better fitting on my ear. So now I am on the spin fits, but it will differ with yours. Double flange may fit with you and you can get this, or spin fits may fit with you, so it will be up to you. But either of these is okay for me. So where did I get the double flange? I actually got it from a NiceHCK NX7 package, so I'm not sure where to get separate tips double flange, but I do like double flange on this because yeah, it goes into my ear. It seals also fairly well, but spin fits again, it kind of deep also in terms of the size. They're This definitely the double flange is longer, but spin fits is not far off. So again, with this spin fits, sealing is better on the ear, which is something that we need for BLON because the default tips is pretty short. And again, so with the spin fits, it kind of livens up the sound a bit. But yeah, BLON is already lively, but you know, make it even more punchy with the spin fits, which is something I like actually. So yes, that's what I use for the tips. I do like spin fits on this. And also the cable is Yinyu 6 core. So why didn't I use the 8 core? Because the 6 core actually doesn't have ear hooks. So, well, my copy at least. And I do like this because sometimes I do want to wear the BLON in an earphone style, not an over-ear kind of style. So just dangling on your ear, and it actually does fit well, surprisingly. So I have an option in my day to make it just a normal earphone kind of style, or maybe an ear hook kind of style. And the ear hook actually still fits on my ear, so when I do it like this on my ear, so yeah, it kind of versatile. So I do like, you know, not having ear hooks on this. Again, you guys may differ, but I do like that versatility because here in the BLON you can do the, you know, dangling on the ear style. For other IEMs, it kind of looks weird because it's more designed to, you know, have that kind of ear hook design. But here in the BLON, you can either wear it either way, and it will be fine on your ear. So I do like the 6 core, and yeah, it's gold and it has, you know, silver trims. So that's what you can also do in your accessories, guys. So kind of match, you know, the colors just to have consistency. Yes, so silver on silver on silver. I think that looks pretty sick for me. So that is my setup with the BLON. That is what I am using on a daily for the BLON. Next is the T3. So T3, again with that cable, is very nice. It's already 8 core. And actually, in terms of the softness of the cable, it's similar to the Yinyu 8 core. But I would argue the 8 core is still softer, but this is really close, a tad, you know, just a tad stiffer, but still really soft in the, you know, this kind of cable. In terms of the tips, so the T3 is kind of more in the detailed side, more in the aggressive side. So it's a fairly neutral sound. It has some clarity on top, and also not a lot of bass. So what I do want to do is you know, add a touch of warmth at the bottom, just to level it out a bit, and again tone down a bit more of the details, a bit more of the aggressiveness. So that's what this is for the AET08. It has a touch of warmth and makes the T3 a little bit more relaxed. So that kind of resonates with me. I do prefer this kind of sound now more with the T3. So this is my setup for the T3. So again, you know, if you kind of like more precise sound, T3 is still always something that you can consider. Next is our new $50 King TRN BA5. So our TRN BA5 is actually you know, a very detailed pair. Also very revealing, and sometimes with that kind of signature, again, you have that fatigue after a long listening session, again much like my DT1990. So I do want to tone that down a bit, tone down a bit of air, so I can still use it for a longer listening session. So what I did here is actually a different tip. This is the AET07s. So out of all my tips, I find this to be the most relaxed out of the bunch. So this cuts, you know, some sibilance out of the TRN BA5. So definitely if you're treble sensitive, this is something that you should consider for your TRN BA5. Because yes, this is a really detailed pair, and that can be fatiguing after a long listening session. So yes, this kind of works for me. In terms of the cable, I did choose the TRN T1. Why? Because I like it TRN. You know, just a similarity of brand. I kind of like that. So it's still 8 core, but you do have, you know, that similarity, TRN and TRN. And yeah, I'm a bit OC sometimes, so I do want, you know, consistency with my accessories and IEM. So I did choose the TRN T1. It's not softer though compared to the Yinyu 8 core. It's still softer in the 8 core. I don't like, you know, that yellow, you know, Pikachu kind of color. But yes, it's TRN, so I do, you know, like that similarity in terms of the brand. So yes, TRN BA5 now with this kind of setup, it's a bit more toned down. It's still detailed. It's still there, of course, but now a bit more toned down, and something that you can listen to for a longer listening session, which is something that you like. So in terms of you know, the whole setup, this is kind of my personal setups. As you can see, guys, what I want to do for my IEMs is For more relaxed IEMs, I want to make it a little more musical, a little bit more lively for me, a bit more engaging for me. And for detailed IEMs, I want to tone it down a bit, so I can listen to it for a longer listening session. So that kind of setup is my personal preference. It will be up to you, what you kind of want. Maybe some people will prefer, detailed setups, make it even more lively, put some spin fits on it. More relaxed setups, maybe put more relaxed IEMs. You want a super duper relaxed setup, or basic IEMs, put more warmth in your IEMs. And of course, I also want to add that these IEMs are all my top recommendations. Actually, it will be up to you, what you kind of want in this. I love them all. I use them all. They all have their own purposes. And for accessories also, they all have their own purposes. So actually, I suggest you guys have a number of tips with you, so you can shift to maybe a more relaxed listen. You want to shift to a more detailed listen, a more lively listen. So having different tips on a daily, you can have that option to go warmth, go detail, go relax. That's pretty cool if you want to change things up a bit. So depending on where you're going to use the IEM for the day, you can shift. That's nice. So maybe if you're gonna do some monitoring, go for a more detailed pair. If you're gonna do some casual listening for 4 hours, 8 hours, throw in the relaxed tips. If you want some bass in your life, throw in more warm tips. And also on top of that, of course, this looked really sick for me. For somebody who's in this hobby, you kind of like to make things your own, and I do think that this looks pretty cool for me. So yes, this is my setup for top 5 IEMs. If you have additional questions, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, leave a like if you learned something, and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And what are your setups, guys? How did you set up your IEMs? Let me know down in the comments below. And maybe you can also help, the other viewers here in the channel in your comments. And of course, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.